Okay, I'm doing an informative video about the Thunder Tiger MT4 G3. Some things just to take into consideration when you buy one of these for setting it up, things to watch out for as far as repairs, just sort of routine stuff. So the first thing, and this is kind of the bigger thing I'm looking at right now, is there's a, you'll see it right here, the ESC on this. The Ace RC, which I believe is a Team Associated, which is also owned by Thunder Tiger, has this fan in it, and it's pretty typical with these Chinese ESCs. Hobby Wing, some of the others tend to have these, and it's good because it keeps it cool. But when grass, if you're driving it in grass that's been mowed or anything, all those little clippings go inside the fan, make the blade stop spinning, and the fan will overheat. Or the ESC will overheat, excuse me. If this happens multiple times, you can fry out an ESC. My Red Cat had that happen. So to combat that, this car comes with this cage that goes over everything. And what you can see here is I've actually gone in and put this window screen in it. The way I did it was I went in and hot glued. Let me zoom out here a little bit so you can see it better. I went in and hot glued the screen in place and then took an X-Acto knife and just trimmed it to fit. You have to cut this hole, leave it open, because that's for this, and you have to cut these two holes open, because if you try to run your cables from your ESC to your battery, if you try to run them across here connected, they'll get pinched on this right here and it'll actually damage your leads. So you have to have something to come out each end. The other thing to consider is the steering servo right here. It was actually, the one that comes with it is not the greatest steering servo in the world. So I wound up replacing it with the high-tech, and let me see if I can take this off and kind of show you what this one looks like. There it is. It's the high-tech HS7954SH. It's a high voltage, high torque servo. I got it for about 79 bucks on eBay, which I think is a good deal, as I believe most of the high-tech servos normally go for 100 plus. So I wouldn't replace it maybe right away, just because get what use you can, but it's something that could break, so that's something to think about. I think that's about it for now. I do have some the hubs. There's hub pins in there that get thrown once in a while. You need to super glue those into place. Currently, I think it's this front tire is actually super glued on because I accidentally prematurely glued my hub together when I was trying to put a pin in it. So I'm just going to try to use it for now till it breaks free, which will probably happen after 1 or 2 runs. I'm going to show you how I put the battery and everything in this. There's kind of an easy way to do it versus just struggling. I also want to call out for this battery. This is a pretty decent battery. Wasn't terribly expensive. I think the price point was about $60 or $70. It's a 4S, so you can see it's really wide. It's a thick battery, and it eliminates having to use one of those harnesses where you have to connect the batteries in series to run as a 4S setup. So it's easy because you charge it once instead of charging 2 batteries, and you only have one cable to hook up. Now I'm going to show you how, the way I do this for setting this thing up when I put it together. So I start with these clips, put them all so they're out straight from the car. If any of them are crooked, it won't go on right, and you'll be wondering why it's not going together. And then, like you can see here, these holes that I left in my screen for this purpose feed everything through. Now, when I do this, first let me show you, take this back off. Down here, there's holes, there's 4 of them. And those holes correspond with some little pegs that are here on the body. If those things don't line up, you're either going to break one of these little cams or you're going to break your cage. So you want to make sure those things line up. The way I do it is I turn the car on end so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to turn it a little funny angle in this case. And I make sure, first off, that the battery side, because this is the high side, I make sure it's aligned. And I pop it down. Same thing here. And it's really easy because I'm turning on its side, making it easy to see. And then you actually have to push this. It won't want to naturally lay that way, so you have to push it together, snap it shut, all done. I know some people struggle with these, and it's because they don't really have a system for doing it, and they're just trying to randomly close them. So, connect everything up. There it is. The only other thing I have that's kind of a tip with these is back here, your rear body posts. This is the original body that came with the car. You can see all these dents and dings. If I were to get this body new, I would actually cut this section out, because this wheelie bar, every time you hit it, it flexes up into the back and shoves this body into these parts here, and it actually ultimately it tears holes in the body. These are actually cracked all the way through, and I cut them so that they could basically slip back and forth. When it was flexing, it could do this. However, it was kind of too late for this body, so I've since gotten a new body, and what I do is I bought these washers, kind of a Home Depot thing. I put them on the backs here. It gives it a little more area to kind of distribute the stress, and I put that over there, and you can actually see this body's been driven quite a bit. You can see it does have some damage here, but this damage that you're seeing here took a couple weeks. This has been driving for months now, and it's not nearly as bad. So I put these on here and get everything kind of lined up. And then I just pop another set of those washers over top. Let me grab my body pins. And then everything goes together like it would any normal body. My pins in there. Excuse my mismatched pins, but I lose body pins from time to time. I guess that's what happens. These are actually fairly tight fit in the back, which is a good thing, because it just keeps things from bouncing around as much when you're driving it. So I'm not sure why this one's not going on at the moment. There we go. The body was hung up on it. Okay. And there she is. That's how I connect it. That does save the body having the pins. I did cut up in the back so that when this thing flexes, it doesn't cram into the body. I also had to cut all these panels out. I had to cut the front out. It still gets hung up on the front tires a little bit when it drives, but it's nothing that affects the performance or anything, so don't worry about it. I think that's about it. Just wanted to throw those things out. I know some folks are buying ones pretty soon, and wanted to just give you some tips and pointers that might be useful to you. Alright, thanks a lot, and we'll see you later.